Hey there and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video all about my oud fragrances. These are obviously the favorites that I've come across since I've been adding fragrances to my collection, and I only have 6 to talk to you guys about, but I feel like they cover a wide range of bases and also price points, so you'll be able to find one that really works for you guys. And I'm also using this to kind of ask you guys what your favorite ouds are as well. I feel like there are so many more on the market now than there were even like 10-15 years ago. I just feel like it's really come into the forefront. Super inexpensive brands and houses are also creating their version of, like, obviously synthetic oud type fragrances, so there's definitely one for everyone. And these are 6 that I currently have in my collection as, you know, bottles or decants that I haven't finished. I've obviously tried others that I really like. I've either finished the sample or finished the bottle, but these are my current 6, so I wanted to show them to you guys, give you little mini reviews, and hopefully that helps you in seeing whether you'd like to pick up one of these as your next oud fragrance. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So I have 2 really inexpensive ones that I'm going to start with, and the first one I'm going to be really quick with because you cannot pick it up. It is like impossible to find, I assume, because it's actually from Primark. And this is one, I always forget which country I picked it up in, whether it was Amsterdam or Spain or Portugal, I really can't remember, but I picked it up while traveling in Europe one year, and I was just really interested in seeing what like a Primark level oud fragrance would be. So this is just Oud Noir Parfum Royal pour femme, and I don't remember how much it was, but it was very inexpensive, obviously, because it was Primark, and honestly, it is really good. It is slightly of a medicinal oud, which I love. I pretty much like every type of oud personally. There are some that I find I can wear a lot more easily in that it bothers other people less, because I know it's not a note that everyone is super drawn to. Every oud fragrance that I've tried so far, I've been able to at least pick out something I like about it. It has never bothered me where I felt like it was unwearable, to the point where, for example, vanilla, there are definitely vanilla fragrances that I personally don't want to wear, but I've never found an oud, even the like animalic kind of dirtier, very like unsweet ones, I still like in its own way, but I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, and a medicinal oud can be, I think, easier to wear than some, but it can definitely be the type to put people off. And I was surprised that they didn't take a more like rosy oud conventional way with this fragrance, because again, it was like under 10 euros, and it is actually really nice. I could very easily see this being like a designer level oud fragrance that was sold for like 10 times what I bought it for, and that's why it's continued to stay like at the forefront of my collection. It's never been like demoted in my collection where I don't wear it. Every fall and winter I pull it out, and I've gotten compliments on this as well. It definitely smells better than what you'd think it would for the price. So if for any reason you can find it, or if Primark ever brings it back, do give it a chance, because I actually think it's quite nice. Then the second one, I've talked about it before. I've put it on my Instagram. You guys know, but Midnight Amber by Oscar de la Renta really surprised me. And the only reason I picked it up, because I've had abysmal luck with Oscar de la Renta fragrances time and time again, is because I was actually recommended it on YouTube. I forget who it was, but someone had recommended it. It was an inexpensive, really nice oud, and rosy oud, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one more shot, and I picked it up at Chopard's. If you live in Canada, these are often in the $19.99 section, which is a great deal for the 100 mils. I've never picked up any of the others in this range, even though I've had success with this, because I don't want to fall down the rabbit hole again of trying to find another Oscar de la Renta that I love, but I love this. This is a very safe rosy oud. I feel like this is a easy like first oud fragrance for someone. A, because it's inexpensive, but B, I find rosy ouds that are more on the floral side tend to be like the easiest way that people get accustomed to that kind of oud woody smell. And this is a really nice one. Again, super inexpensive, smells way more expensive than it actually is. And I could easily see this being like a Lancome version of oud. It has a lot of that like Lancome feel to it, if that makes any sense. I really do like it. I recommend it time and time again. I feel like if you're just getting started in the game, it's a good one to start with. If you love oud like me, then it's just a nice one to add as part of your collection, because finding inexpensive ouds that actually don't smell completely off, or that it's just like a marketing shtick and it doesn't even smell like oud, is actually a little bit rare, and this is a good one. Then we get to, I don't want to say my favorite per se, but I think it's my favorite full bottle of an oud fragrance that I think I've got. So that is actually from Lancome. It's Maison Lancome's Lautre Oud. I love this fragrance. I really feel like it is so beautiful. Bottle aside, I love how it's darker, more bitter, more woody. It's not medicinal in like an easy sweet kind of way, the way the Primark one is. And it's not as easy and accessible in a rosy oud kind of way that this is. It's slightly more bitter. And I love that about it. I really, really do. I find that when in colder weather, it really blooms. It does so well on like wool, or I don't want to say harsher, but definitely like more hefty clothing. I feel like it just sinks in and warms up and is just a very warming fragrance. I love oud fragrances when it's super cold, like dry or wet, cold, windy weather. I feel like oud fragrances just warm me right up. Oh, and this is one of them that I can't pick favorites per se, but I love this fragrance. I think it's so underrated, because most people from the ouds, I think, prefer Oud Bouquet from Maison Lancome, and they don't even give Lautre Oud a chance. But I feel like if you love oud, you really, really should give Lautre Oud a chance, because it's just like bitter, woody, dark oud, and I really, really love this one by Maison Lancome. Then we get to Oud Malaki or Malaki by Chopard. I picked this up on like a whim on a sale, and honestly, ever since I did, I've really come to like it. It's got a kind of lavender tobacco-ness to this oud, and it's not an especially strong oud fragrance. I feel like the other notes, this might be in another way. If you like spicy fragrances, it's also spiced. It's got like cinnamon and other spices in there. It doesn't smell especially like it's super spicy, but it definitely smells spiced. And I get like lavender and tobacco. It's not especially smoky either, but definitely like tobacco leaves. And for that reason, again, if you're not super into oud, but you know you like spicy fragrances, this might be a nicer way to get into it. It lasts an incredibly long time. I love how heavy the bottle is. The cap isn't as heavy as I would like, but it's just, I don't know, for a fragrance that I picked up completely on a whim because it was on sale from Fragrance Buy, because they were having a good sale that I just kind of, their anniversary sale is when I added this. I have really come to really like it, and it's again a relatively easy oud to wear, because the oud, unfortunately for my taste, isn't as strong as some of my other fragrances, but it's a really nice take on it, and fairly inexpensive if you can find it for deals like I did. I would actually recommend it, and I've ended up wearing it a lot actually since I picked it up. Then we get to two sample decants that I absolutely love. And one of them is just, I am like nursing this sample, so I'll leave it for last. The second to last one that I want to talk about is Royal Princess Oud by Creed. This is just one of the royalty scents that I got a while ago, and this one is a lot, it's got like, it very much smells like a Creed fragrance. I feel like when you smell it, you instantly know it's Creed, which is hard to explain what I mean. But it just smells like a Creed take on Oud, and it's definitely brighter. It's a little bit herbal, citrusy, and like green floral, and that is how the opening takes. It really takes a while for it to get to that heart and dry down where you get more of the Oud, and I love that side of it. But the opening is greener than I was expecting, and for that reason I feel like I'm more than happy with the decant. As you guys can see, I've probably had only 10 sprays of it total, so I've got a whole bunch left. And honestly, this wouldn't necessarily be one where I'd rush out and get the full bottle just because of that opening. However, if you like more of that green, slightly floral, slightly citrusy, not even citrusy, just like fresher opening, that does definitely smell like green herbal, and then it gets into the Oud, you might actually enjoy this. But for me, this is like a quintessential example of why I was so glad I just got a decant and didn't just straight up get the bottle blind, because I would have been, this is the kind of Oud fragrance where it's not as oudy as I would like, and it doesn't like smack you in the face in the opening, so I'm more than happy with just the decant. But the sample that has won over my heart, you guys can probably guess, is Oud for Greatness by Initio Parfums. Oh my god, I really didn't want to love this, and I did not want to be so enamored by it, but it really is beautiful. At first, I just thought it was like a really beautiful, I will spray one right here, just because I am nursing this sample I've got. At first, I just thought it was kind of like a sweet saffron type Oud that I really liked, but very quickly into it, I realized it smells as if you've got like a slightly sweet, smoky Oud, and you're wearing it on top, like you've already layered it with Baccarat Rouge 540. Once I realized that, I'm like, of course, that's probably why I like it. But it doesn't give me that like nose exhaustion of an exact dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540, of which I have many if you've checked out my video, or like a fragrance that has that DNA for some reason. Maybe it's because I adore Oud and it just gives it like a different quality. It definitely has like Baccarat Rouge 540 vibes for sure, but oh, it's just so beautiful, and it lasts so long, so I can actually get away with just like one spray at a time nursing that sample. And because of you guys, I have heard that Lattafa Oud for Glory is a really good dupe for this, and every time I go to put an order, it's sold out on the websites I usually buy from, so I'm taking it as a sign, and I don't do what I usually do, which is buy some more Lattafa fragrances trying to wait it out. So I'm just holding out, and I will definitely pick up the Lattafa at some point and do a comparison. If you guys are interested, let me know. But I really have to say, it is beautiful. And if you know already you love the original Baccarat Rouge 540 or the Extrait, or even if you're just like, you know you love those and you have a bunch of dupes of that fragrance and you love Oud, it's no question that you're gonna love this, really. I absolutely love it, and I'm so glad that I got a sample, because it was the kind of fragrance where I thought the hype was just way too much and I wouldn't be interested. But now that I got a sample, I know that I would definitely buy a decant of it. Maybe not the full bottle because it's super expensive, but definitely buy a decant, and would definitely buy the dupe from Lattafa to compare. So yeah, those are all my Oud fragrances that I currently have as part of my collection that I could find. Hopefully I grabbed all of them. I would say out of the entire 6, my first above all recommendation would be Lautre Oud by Maison Lancome. I really, really just completely fallen in love with this. You can still find it relatively easily, and even on like sale or discount fragrance websites. Sometimes there'll be deals on that one, which is when I picked mine up. So definitely keep an eye out. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye!